What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. For this video I'm going to be showing you 100 different exercises that you guys could do from the comfort of your own home. We're going to start off with legs. Before we get started, actually I just wanted to mention I'm going to be going through these very fast for you guys so I could get all 100 out without wasting a lot of your time. So the form might not be the greatest, but if you guys have to watch a couple form videos on YouTube or the internet, I definitely recommend that. Make sure you guys warm up and stretch before you do these exercises. I'm going to start off with legs. The first one's going to be squats, obviously. For me, I would use my barbell and some of the weights, but if you guys don't have that, you can use kettlebells, dumbbells. You could even use a backpack with some books or whatever you have in the house. Inside of the backpack, you could either put it on your back or keep it in front of you and do some squats with that. Next up, you could also do some jump squats, which are great for explosiveness and also a really good leg workout, of course. Also, you could do heel elevated squats. I like to do these to focus on my quads a lot. They tend to hurt my knees a little bit, so I do wear knee sleeves, but if they hurt your knees, you could either do something else or just warm up a little more. Next up, you could also do pistol squats, which are just one leg squats. I'm not the best at these, so I'm going to do them on the box. Now all these exercises you could kind of substitute the weights that you have. If you have dumbbells, that's great. If you have a kettlebell, that's fine as well. I also have some resistance cables, which I will show you guys in a little while. Next up, I'm going to show you guys straight leg deadlifts, which is kind of like this. This is going to be a great hamstring workout. Also, another one to go along with this is going to be RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, which is just going to be, I like to do them one leg at a time. Doesn't matter. Now, if you don't have dumbbells and you do have resistance bands, you could attach the resistance band to something high and kind of pull down on it while you're doing them. The next workout I'm going to show you guys is hip thrust, which you could kind of get creative with. I'm going to do them on the box for you guys. If I wanted to, I would use either my barbell or the backpack, dumbbells, kettlebells, and put the weights right here. Make sure you're squeezing really hard on your glutes. Most of you guys probably know this one. It's just going to be lunges. But we could actually get pretty creative with these lunges, and instead of just going forward and backwards, we could kind of do like side lunges or even curtsy lunges. And then there's also jumping lunges, which will definitely get the heart rate up. Now if we take it down to the floor, I will show you guys a couple of workouts which will consist of kickbacks, which are just like this, and then fire hydrants. You could even superset these. Alright, so next up is going to be box jumps. And, of course, step-ups, which, if you do this properly, you could either focus on your quad or your glutes. But for this, I'm going to focus on my glutes right now. Kind of put my other leg back a little bit and squeeze my hamstrings and my glutes. If I wanted to focus on my quads, I would just lean forward a little bit and squeeze my quad hard at the top. Alright, so this one is going to be cable pull-throughs. I kind of put the resistance band through my squat rack, and now I'm just going to kind of walk myself out a little bit. The more you walk out, obviously, the harder it will get, but this is kind of how you do them. It's kind of like a little bit of a squat, and you're just pulling through. Next up I'm going to show you is leg extension. So leg extension is probably one of my favorite quad builders. So I'm just going to sit on something and then bring my legs up. If you sit back a little bit more, it's actually probably better. Bring your legs up. Now, also, I'm going to lay on the floor and show you guys hamstring curls. I'm going to put the dumbbell in between my feet again and just bring it to my butt. Alright, so this is one anybody could really do against the wall, and it's called wall sits. The lower you go, the harder it's going to be a little bit. I actually did a video where I did wall sits every day for an entire month. Next up, I'm going to do wall balls. So if you don't have like a heavy ball like this, that's perfect for these. You could use any type of ball, a basketball, or any ball you have around the house. And you're just going to squat, throw it up against the wall, and catch it. And this is kind of going to be a full body workout, so you're actually going to be working your shoulders and your upper body a little bit too because of the pushing. Alright, so next we're going to actually move on and do chest. To start it off, I'm going to do bench press, but I'm actually going to do it on the floor. If you guys have a bench or something to lay on, obviously you could do that, but I'm going to demonstrate on the floor. So this is actually going to be two exercises. The first one is going to be bench press, and this is going to be floor press.
Once your elbows hit the ground, you could explode up. Now, if you don't have a barbell, you could of course use a backpack with some books or some weights in it and bench press like that.
Next up, we're going to demonstrate some push-ups, which most people know how to do, but for those who don't, I like to put my hands a little bit closer in, touch my ribcage to the ground and explode up. Besides push-ups, you could get a little bit crazy and do some incline push-ups or decline and lean on something and do push-ups. Or to make it harder on yourself and hit the top of your chest, you could put your feet up and do push-ups like this, and that will hit your upper chest. Now, some more push-up options are actually going to be clap push-ups and then pseudo push-ups, which these are a little bit harder, so if you're going to do these, proceed with caution, I guess you could say, but you're going to move your hands a little bit closer to you and push up this way. Alright, so next I'm going to do some chest flies. This is going to be incline style, so I'm just using a backpack, or you could do dumbbells or a kettlebell, or even cable flies like this. Or you could do decline cable flies. And then you could also do flies laying down with some dumbbells, laying on a bench, or laying on the floor. Another one I wanted to show you guys is going to be dips. Now, I don't have a couple chairs in here. I do have this box. So these are going to be bench dips. These are going to hit your triceps and your lower chest. Now, if you have two chairs, that's even better. You put two chairs next to each other and you do dips like this between two chairs. Just make sure the chairs are sturdy. The next exercise I'm going to show you is actually a chest and a back workout that not a lot of people use, or I don't see a lot of people using it except for myself. But you're actually going to lay on a bench like this with your shoulders and pull something over you, either a backpack, dumbbells, a barbell, whatever you have. You're going to pull it over you and squeeze your chest. If you wanted to focus on your chest, you squeeze your chest more. If you want to focus on your back, you squeeze your back more. Alright, so next up is going to be shoulders. So I'm going to start off with shoulder press. I'm going to use the backpack just to demonstrate that you can do anything at home. You're just going to press like this and squeeze the front of your shoulders. You could also do this seated, or you could even do some Arnold presses, which are going to look like this. You're going to put them this way in front of you and then rotate them out. So you're going to put them this way in front of you and rotate them out. Another type of press you could do is going to be with the cable or the resistance band. If you don't have any dumbbells or backpack, you could put the cable on something on the ground. You can either go on your knees or stand up and just press, squeezing the front of your shoulders. Besides that, you could also do front raises with this, also hitting the front of your shoulder. Instead of cable front raises, you can do backpack or dumbbell front raises. Now with the backpack, you also can do upright rows, which is also going to hit the front of your shoulders. Other than that, you could do lateral raises, which is going to hit the middle of your shoulder, and it's just going to look something like this. You could also do this with cables, dumbbells, whatever you have. I actually tend to put it between my feet and do them both at the same time like this. Now onto the back of our shoulder, which is going to be our rear delt. You can kind of bend over more, grab the cables like this, and go up like this, squeezing your rear delt, which is located on the back of your shoulders. Now instead of that, we could actually put this around something and do some face pulls, which is also going to hit your rear delt. Now going to the ground, if you can't do handstand push-ups, I'm not going to demonstrate those right now, but if you can't do those, you could do some pike push-ups, which kind of look like this. Other than that, we didn't focus on our traps yet, so you could do some shrugs. You could either do this one arm, two arm. If you have a barbell, you could use that, or a backpack, or whatever you got. Shrugs, and then there's also front raises with a twist, which is called like a steering wheel, I guess. Now moving on to back, I'm going to start off with some cable deadlifts. I put the cable around my feet, or the resistance band around my feet. I'm just doing deadlifts like this. Now with deadlifts, you could kind of change it up. I'm going to show you guys some dumbbell deadlifts. You could either do a conventional where your feet are shoulder width apart, or you could do it sumo. Sumo is going to work a little bit more of your legs. Besides that, you could do some rows. I like to, on my rows, bring my arms a little bit back more. This is going to work more of your back. This is going to work more of your bicep. Now we put the resistance band around something and we're going to do some cable rows. You could also do this to make it a little bit harder with one arm. Next up, we're going to show you guys how to do bent over dumbbell or backpack rows for this time. So you're going to put your knee on it like a chair or something. I'm just going to lean over and hold this, and I'm going to do rows like this with the backpack. Now I showed you guys this one already, but it's going to be back and chest pullovers. So you're going to put your back on this and do pullovers. So this is going to be one of my favorite back workouts that I'm not able to do because I'm not in a gym, but it's called lat pull down. So I just use a cable and put it around my pull-up bar, and I'm actually going to go on my knees to make it even harder and pull down like this and really focus on squeezing your lats, which are right here. Now, instead of this, another back exercise is going to be straight arm pull down. So you're keeping your arms really straight and squeezing your lower back and your upper back and just pulling it straight down. Now, besides these, an exercise that I really do almost every back day in the gym is going to be pull-ups, because I think it's one of the best compound lifts you could do for your back, except for deadlifts, of course. Besides that, you could do chin-ups if it's like a back and biceps day for you. So now we're on to biceps, and of course everybody knows a bicep curl. You could either use a bar like I have, or you could use some dumbbells like this. Now with bicep curls, you could actually get kind of creative and do a hammer curl, or you could even do an inside curl with your arm facing this way. Instead of that, you could get even more creative and do reverse grip curls, which are a bit harder, but they definitely work well. Another thing you could also do is going to be cable curls. And I've already demonstrated chin-ups, but that is definitely a great bicep workout. Besides those, you could also do concentration curls, which if you sit on something, it kind of just looks like this. You put your arm on this, and you go like this, and just squeeze really hard and concentrate on your bicep. You could also do this one with dumbbells, a backpack, or a cable. You just put your elbows on your knees, and you're gonna curl this way. Alright, now we're on to triceps. I know a lot of you will know this one, but it's going to be triangle push-ups. So you're going to put your hands kind of close and do push-ups like this. And make sure you're really squeezing your triceps. Another push-up variation you could do for triceps, you're going to get in a regular push-up form and kind of put your elbows down, get in a push-up position with your feet up, and then extend your arms. This is going to... If it's your first time doing this, it's probably going to hurt your elbows a little bit, but when you get used to it, it feels pretty good for your triceps. Next up is going to be overhead extension. You could either do this with a backpack, 2 arms at a time, or 1 arm at a time, depending on the weights that you have, or a dumbbell, or whatever you got. Also, another overhead extension you could do is going to be from the floor with a resistance band. With this resistance band, you could also do kickbacks, which look like this. Now you can do kickbacks with a cable or a dumbbell or whatever you have. Another thing you can do is actually close grip bench. So if I'm benching and I have it all set up, I would actually just put my arms a little bit closer on the bench and really squeeze my triceps at the top. So this is a pretty interesting tricep workout, but I'm actually grabbing a bar or whatever I have and putting it behind my back. I'm going to roll it down here, and for that you really want to make sure your core and your back is really tight so you don't hurt yourself. For this one it's going to be skull crushers, and then we're going to go over to the cable. Alright, so next up, this is probably one of my favorite ones that I found in my garage. I tend to use more or less resistance bands every time that I do a set. Usually I'll put one on first and then I'll put another band on, and by the end I'll either go down to my knees or I'll use 3 bands at one time just to add that extra resistance, like if you were in the gym putting the weights up. But this is called tricep push downs. Other than that, you could do tricep overhead extension. Now we finished our major body parts, so we're going to go on to abs, which usually I would fit into like an end of a workout, or if I have a day off, maybe I'll just do some abs and some cardio. So I'm going to start off with probably the harder of the workouts on the pull-up bar. The first one's going to be just regular hanging leg raises. Now you could go higher if you want. After that, you could do some windmills, which I'm going to be careful of this machine next to me, but they kind of look like this. You could also do knee ups side to side. So for this one, I'm going to be doing resistance band crunches from the ceiling, and I'm just going to be squeezing my upper abs at the bottom really hard and letting it up nice and slowly. I'm going to grab the cable like this, and I'm actually just going to do some wood choppers, which are going to work my obliques. You can do them like this, or you could actually do them from the floor up. I like to do them this way because your external obliques actually run downwards. So doing this, you're working the obliques that will actually show when you take your shirt off. Alright, so since we're on abs, I'm just going to get down on the floor like you do for most ab workouts. The first one, I'm going to use my ab wheel. Now I'm also going to use my ab wheel and just put it on my feet instead. This one's a little bit tougher, but it actually works really well for your lower abs. And you can either go in a push-up position or plank and just go like this. The next thing we're going to do is crunches. I'm going to do these really fast. This is how me and Mike like to do crunches.
Now besides crunches, you could of course do sit-ups. If I don't have a spotter to hold my legs, I like to just put my feet flat and do sit-ups like this.
Next up is going to be the leg lifts.
If you want to make leg lifts a little bit easier, a little tip, you could actually put your hands under your butt and it will actually make it easier. Next up is going to be V-ups. So you're spreading your legs a little bit, and at the top of each leg lift, you're going to shoot your back up slightly. Next up, I actually found from doing my Arnold at-home workout, but it's going to be knee bent crunches. Here's one that I like to do after leg lifts. So if I did some leg lifts and I was getting really sore, I would do some flutter kicks at the end, and that would kind of just give me like an extra burn.
Now this is an obvious one, but this one's going to be planks. And then instead of planks, you can get creative and do some plank to push-up position. And this is going to work more than just your abs, since you are going into that push-up position. Next up is going to be mountain climbers. This one's going to get your heart rate up a little bit. This one's called Superman hold, and then you could also flip on your back and do reverse Superman hold. Now I showed you one oblique exercise, but here's another one. I tend to like to do that one because it involves more twisting and I think it's better for you, but this one is really good as well. This is just going to be like some full body movements. Starting off with burpees. Next thing is going to get my heart rate up a little bit. It's going to be high knees, just running in place. This is going to be good full body movement. I'm going to use my backpack this time and just do some cleans. So you're working your legs, your shoulders, and your whole upper body. Instead of cleans, you could actually do thrusters. So you're going to actually do a full squat into a press at the top. On the way down, you go into the squat and press up. You could also do some jumping jacks, which will definitely get your heart rate up. And if you have a jump rope, you could do some jump ropes. Or you could just jump rope in place without the jump rope. Now, if you have a kettlebell, that's great. Do some kettlebell swings. But if you don't have a kettlebell, you could just do some backpack swings or dumbbell swings. The very last workout I'm going to show you is going to be inchworms. Now I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously there's a bunch of other workouts that you guys could do, but I hope this gave you a good idea. All the equipment I use, I'm going to try to link below to some Amazon links and help you guys out with some of your shopping if you need some of this equipment. I hope you guys are all staying safe. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe because that would help me out a lot and it only takes a few seconds. So thank you so much if you do that. I'll see you guys on the next video.
Hey guys, I love pepperoni, and if you subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and check out the links below, I'll get to eat more pepperoni, like, because I'm a puppy, and I love pepperoni. Please, get me more pepperoni, I just need it. Oh yes, pepperoni's so good. Please subscribe and like.